Hello Canadians, it's Nancy, your money coach here. Before I start, I'm going to point out I am not a liberal, I'm a green, and I'm not a Mark Carney defender, although I have to say I'm really liking him. But I bring that up in advance of what I'm going to say next because it's explaining something that I know is going to come up. It's already come up and will come up even more during the election campaign, and I want you to know the full story. There's a kind of a quiet company in Canada. It's called Brookfield, and it is huge, and I do mean huge, but it's very unglamorous and kind of unsexy, and I'm a shareholder, which in fact it's a major part of my portfolio. So it basically invests in assets around the world, things like, I don't know, bridges and electrical grids and pipelines probably. It's also very committed, legitimately committed to sustainability. In fact, one of its other subsidiaries that I also own is all about advancing renewable energy and technologies. In fact, they just got the contract to supply Microsoft with the new renewable energy for Microsoft's AI initiatives. That's huge. Anyway. But they also have another subsidiary, which I also own, and that's the one that Mark Carney was the CEO of. So he moved it last fall, or not he moved it, the company moved from Toronto to New York City. And there I was conflicted. As a Canadian, I was a little bit bummed, I will say. I found out about it before it became news because it was one of my companies. I'm tracking it. So as a Canadian, I was a little bit bummed. As a shareholder, it was the right thing to do. It really was. And bear in mind, executive directors and CEOs, we kind of think they're the boss. They're not the be all and end all. They report to a board of directors, and in this case, who report to shareholders. And they have to do what the shareholders and the board of directors want them to do, or conversely, they might make a recommendation in the best interest of the shareholders. That is the person's job. So in this case, yes, it totally made sense for them to move the headquarters from Toronto to New York City, because as long as it was only in Canada, those of you who invest will know about index funds and ETFs. Well, as long as it was in Canada, it wasn't even part of the S&P 500 or S&P period or other American indexes, which means all the Americans who are also investing in ETFs and index funds would not be buying into a little piece of Brookfield. Now they can. So you can imagine increased demand means the share price goes up. So it was the right thing to do from that point of view. I also want to make sure that we're all clear that it's kind of like Starbucks. So they've got a headquarters, right? But they have Starbucks shops all over the world with employees all over the world. It's the same situation here. This place is huge. So yeah, the headquarters moved, but that is a fraction in a way of all the actual people working for them and all the companies they've got going on around the world. So I know this is a kind of a nerdier one than normal, but I think it's really important given the election stuff that's coming up. When you hear about this, understand that this Canadian and this shareholder things from a shareholder point of view and as a Canadian point of view, actually, it's a good thing that they moved the headquarters to New York City. There's your Out the Door Money moment. Comment if you have questions or what you think about it. Bye.